this is Derek for the Grumpy Guy Show talking about episode number 87. Have you checked your local ticker? Recorded on Tuesday, March 28th, 2023. Tonight's topics. Local news talks about everything but what's in the ticker. And stereotypes disclosed before they got any proof. Stick around, it's a pretty good episode. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Grumpy Guy Show. I'm Derek McAllister.
And I'm Ryan McAllister.
So, we'll see exactly what happens with this episode. It's been a busy day. Our dog blew out her ACL and had surgery today, so it's been busy, and I don't know, we're all kind of wiped out from dealing with everything on that. So it may end up being a fast
short
one.
episode.
It may end up being a long one, depending on how much we ramble. Who knows? So what do you say we get started with our first topic?
Let's do it.
So, the other day, we were on Interstate 81, headed home. I don't remember where we were coming from. Actually, no, it was on the way down to the store, down to Aldi. And, there's all these billboards all over, they're centrally controlled or whatever,
Of course.
where the state just puts messages up there. And of course, 90% of the time throughout the winter, these things say, use caution, plows travel at 35 miles per hour. 95% of the time, that's what they say.
Yeah.
So we're driving down through there, and I look at the sign, and it says, Amber Alert, check local news. I'm like, I'm driving down the highway. How the hell am I supposed to check the local news for an Amber Alert? That's what these stupid signs are for. They're so that they can actually set it up, send out a message to look for this vehicle, this license plate number. Not check your local news. I mean, seriously, what the hell is New York State thinking? They got in trouble and almost lost all funding for all interstates because they insisted on putting up, and this was Cuomo's brilliant idea. Let's put up, suggestions to go to our website and check it out while they're driving. The federal government said, no, you have until this date to take them down, and if you don't take them down, you lose all of your funding for interstate highways. Like, oh my God. And don't you know, they waited until the very last minute to take them down.
What a moron.
Well, this is more brilliance at work. I mean, seriously, check your local
God, that
news.
pervert, Italian is gone.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it's all him. Some of it was, yes. But some of it's not. And some of it too kind of bothers me because they're focused on, they're focused on the fact that there's a website on these signs. But if there's a website on a billboard that's on the side of the, along the side of the highway, that's okay. And I'm like, how does that make sense? It's still a website telling you to go check it out. You drive by a sign. There's a bunch of them for Turning Stone Casino.
That's just encouraging distracted driving, which is illegal.
Yeah, but there's all kinds of billboards for Turning Stone Casino, and what do they do at the bottom of it? Check us out at turningstone.com. Hello. But it killed me. Amber Alert is supposed to be, very specific when they give you information so that you know what to look for.
Check your local news.
Yeah. How can I know what to look for by the time I pull over to the side, someplace where it's safe to do? Because technically speaking, unless it's an emergency, you can't pull over on the side of the highway. An emergency, or of course you get pulled over. You can't just pull over onto the side of the highway because you want to send a text message or you want to check your local news. You have to wait until there's an exit, get off the exit, then find someplace, find a parking lot to stop in
park.
to check your local news. That's not how an Amber Alert's supposed to work. The whole
No.
concept behind it is the information is put out there very quickly, very detailed, so that people can actually help.
Instead of check your local news.
Yeah. And I'm just like, uh, stop being dumb. I mean, that's really all you can say about it is stop being dumb.
People are stupid.
Yeah. And the worst part is you're going to have all kinds of people that they'll be checking their local news. I mean, maybe they'll do it with voice, just I mean, you could ask, whether you've got Google or Siri or whatever, Alexa. You could ask that what the Amber Alert is in your area, and it'll read it back to you. But come on, who's gonna do that?
Check your local news instead.
Yeah, I don't know. Just that, I mean, I understand that everybody is about their phones and being constantly connected, and
Yeah,
they've
pretty much.
they've always got a connection, so they can always check. But seriously, that's just that's such a horrible idea. It's not even
It
funny.
is.
I don't know.
Stupid is what it is.
And the worst part is, you get federal agencies. There's I don't remember who it was, but either some congressman or some senator at the federal level was trying to make it so that basically a car is a Faraday cage. And for anybody who doesn't know what a Faraday cage is, basically, if you put your phone inside of that, no signal of any kind can get out. No Bluetooth, no Wi-Fi, no cellular, nothing. It can't get out.
Hmm.
And they wanted to do that with cars, and I'm like, yeah, that'll work real well.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that all these manufacturers like GM, and I think Toyota also has a service. GM service is OnStar. Yeah, how's that going to work if the car is a Faraday cage? It can't.
Nope.
And Tesla's connection where they can update your car without you even coming in. They know everything about your car. Well, how's that going to work if the car has to be a Faraday cage? It can't. Because
Can't.
if there's a way for that signal to get out, then there's a way that somebody will actually use that to prevent their car from being a Faraday cage. With all the crash detection and everything that happens now, there's just so many reasons not to do that. But that was the big push there for a little bit. And I'm just like, okay, how am I gonna check my local news though?
Hmm. By checking your local news.
Yeah. And speaking of local news, let's move on to
Oh
our
boy.
next topic. So I've in the mornings I've been getting up early enough that I can sit out in the living room with your mother before I start working and actually watch the local news with her. And it's
Yep.
enjoyable, relaxing, and of course I get to see some things that are going on and
The
see.
same three topics over and over again.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what this topic is about. So they go over, they have little half-hour blocks. And of course, the morning news is a channel that we watch. Out of every single commercial break, the first thing they do is talk weather, which means
Yeah.
that you see 45 minutes, or you see like half an hour of weather reports and 15 minutes of news. So this is how they got around it. Down at the bottom, they've got a little news ticker, right?
Yeah.
And all of the stories
Every
that they're,
network has it.
yeah, but every story that they are not talking about shows up down there. So instead of
Yep.
actually paying attention to them, you've got to sit there and you've got to read. And all I can think is, if I'm going to read the news, then why not just look at my phone instead of watching your news service? I just I find it so distracting. I get it when you're watching like some kind of sport or something like that, and it's showing other scores. But the news, you're gonna show me more news? I understand. You wanna run stock prices down there, okay?
Yeah.
Or as you're getting ready to go out to commercial, you wanna show what's coming up. All right,
Or sports scores.
but to show pretty much full news headlines down there that you're not going to talk about, why not spend all of that time talking about these stories instead of just showing you that, hey, yeah, this happened?
Yeah, why bother?
I mean, talk about them. That's what the show is about. It's supposed to be about talking about the news, not repeating the same thing 3 times.
It's not it's not about spending an hour on the weather.
Yeah, it's just a
You just talked about the weather 20 minutes ago. Talk about something else.
20 minutes. Holy crap, you obviously haven't watched the news lately.
No, I haven't. That's
Oh,
just a
they have
guess.
they have like 10 minutes between commercial breaks.
Mhm.
And of course,
Holy shit.
4 minutes out of each of those 10 minutes is talking about the weather.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's I'm just like, okay, enough of the weather. How about the news?
Enough of the weather. We already know what the weather's going to be.
Yeah, we know what
We
the
already know what you're saying that the weather is gonna be.
yeah. And what kills me is they're so desperate to push the weather.
Oh,
And
because it's the most accurate forecast.
yeah, but it's beyond that. They get to the point where they're just putting up such obscure information about the weather. I don't
Feels
care.
like.
Yeah, I don't care what the wind chill is. I don't care what I don't care that you're telling me that it's going to rain. I can't tell you how many times their stupid radar, the local radar, the only local radar, has showed that it's raining here, and I look outside and the sun's shining. I'm like, really? It's raining, huh?
Definitely raining.
And then,
Oh, and the next day it's snowing.
well, what kills me too?
Knowing how it is this time of year, one day it rains, the next day it's snowing.
Yeah, but
One day it's -12, the next day it's 102.
yeah, but
That's springtime in central New York for you.
it really kills
March and
me
April.
when when they just completely and totally screw things up. And I'm not talking, just the forecast like that, right? So I don't think I mentioned it on here, but I posted it on Facebook. I actually took a picture and posted it. So, they had the graphic showing the high, the forecasted high for the day and the forecasted low. And they said that the low temperature was going to be 17 degrees. Or, no, wait a minute. What was it now? Oh, geez, now I'm going to have to look at the picture. I don't even know if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it really quick. But the graphic that they showed contradicted. Oh, here it is. How about that? All right. So they said the high temperature for the day was going to be 45 degrees. And then down in the lower corner, where throughout the entire newscast they show the current temperature, it was 47 degrees. I'm like, what the?
So it was probably raining. Knowing how it is this time of year.
But you're missing it. They said the forecasted high temperature for the day was
Yep.
going to be 45 degrees.
And it was 47.
And at that time, it was 47 degrees. Yeah. Let me see. Let me see if I can share this. I don't know that I can. And just share that window.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, isn't that fancy? So you see that?
Yeah, I see it.
Down in the lower corner, 6:14 in the morning. It was
Yep.
47 degrees. I'm
I'm
like,
guessing this was Monday.
yeah, 47
Whatever.
degrees. And
President's Day.
yeah, and the current temperature, the current temperature 47. Forecasted high 46 or 45. I mean, come on. That's not rocket science, people.
It's not brain surgery either.
No. There's nothing to it. I mean, just a real simple thing. And the worst part in the world is the meteorologist was, of course, looking at that and actually said, our forecasted high temperature for today is 45 degrees. And then, and it's right now, I don't remember exactly when this was.
Right now, it's 47 degrees.
Yeah. But he said, right now it's 47 degrees. Not even clicking what he just said. I'm like, are you kidding me? Most accurate forecast. And they can't even get that right.
Central New York's most accurate forecast. From the local station.
Yeah. And you saw the picture there. I was sitting and I took a picture of the screen just to show this, and you saw that there wasn't a little ticker down at the bottom with news stories. They don't do that during the news. They don't do that during the sports. They only do it they don't do it during the forecast. Let me correct myself. Yeah, they don't do it during the forecast. They only do it
during the news.
Yeah. Not during the sports, not during the forecast, only during the news. I'm like, just talk about the stuff. Stop running it across the bottom.
You just talked about this topic 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Right after you got done with the 15th weather forecast of the hour.
Yeah. So it's just ridiculous. They're trying to put so much information in there rather than talk about the information.
Yep.
Yeah. So here we are, we're repeating ourselves over and over again. So I think that's a clue. It's time for the next topic.
Transition.
Yes, transition. So a little bit more of a serious note.
Famous transitions.
Yeah. So a little bit more of a serious note. Everybody by now has heard that there was another shooting. And one of the things that I noticed in the early reports on this shooting were that they pointed out that this was a Christian school. Yeah. And then they pointed out that this person was trans. And then they pointed out several other things about this person.
The target less surprising.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, why does that matter? It has no bearing on the fact that 6 people were killed. Actually, 7, because they killed this person as well.
Yeah, they killed the...
Why report that information? First and foremost, they didn't know that it was true. Second, it has no bearing on the fact that 6 people were killed.
6 people got killed anyway.
Yeah, they got killed no matter what. And I don't know. Of course, everybody jumps right on the whole gun control thing again.
Not everybody.
Not
everybody on the left side of the political aisle.
Well, I'm sure it's not
on
everybody.
The right side claim it's because the perpetrator was trans.
Yeah, and somewhere in there, on both sides.
Somewhere in the middle, it's us normal people.
Well, it's on both sides. Somewhere in there, there's people that really truly see the problem. The problem is not guns. The problem is the fact that there's mental health issues. And the fact that, in this case, if the person was in fact trans, And they did attend that school. I mean, that's one thing that they know is they did attend that school. My guess is this was a targeted
Hardcore
attack.
Christians, and that includes most
Yes.
Christian schools, do not like trans people.
No, it's not even just trans people. It's no, you have male organs, therefore you are male and you are nothing else and you only like women.
Yep.
And truthfully that goes beyond just the Christian faith. But
That's most hardcore religious people for you.
yeah. But
Whether we're talking Christians, Jews, or Muslims.
yeah. But the other key with this is they kept repeating over and over again that this person attended school there. And I'm like, okay, so it has a little bit of bearing, but probably not that much. This
A lot
person
of
was
a
28
lot of
years old.
shooters were students at the school they shot up at one point.
Yeah, but this person was 28 years old. This school is K through 6. It's not like it was a recent attendance. That's what they were making it out to be. Like, oh,
Yep.
she went to this school, so yeah, she went to this school a long time ago. My
Long
guess
time
is,
ago.
my guess is, her parents sent her there to air quotes straighten her out,
Yep.
and then likely sent her to another Christian-based
To
school
shock the gay
to
away.
continue straightening her out.
To
That's my
make her normal.
that's my air quote voice. For anybody listening, if you hear me doing that, I'm air quoting. But the whole thing is, if that was the case, then she may have started there and planned to go on after that to the next school. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea whatsoever why she targeted 3 children. I mean, it's not like these children had anything to do with it. Okay, she targeted.
Some of them, or all three of them, could have been just like her.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, if they were like her, then I doubt very much she would have killed them.
Yeah, but she
My
might not have known.
my guess, to be honest with you, my guess is that the 3 staff members that were killed were the targets, or at least some of the targets, and that the children were collateral damage or in the way type of thing.
Hmm.
And it was easier just to, in the mental state, it may have just been easier to kill them so that they were out of the way.
Yeah.
But, to kill innocent children, that really tells me that there's a mental health issue there.
It's definitely a mental health issue.
And as much as I'm not huge on the whole the diversity, equity, and inclusion stuff that gets shoved down our throats, I'm also far from somebody who's going to tell somebody that, no, you can't be here because you're trans. No, I'm not going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And these people are the way they are because that's just how they were born. Simply put, I'm straight because I was born that way.
Yep.
You don't learn to be gay. You either
You don't
are or
learn to
you're
be
not.
straight.
Yeah. And if you don't feel right as a male, okay, I get it. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that you should be able to compete as a female in female athletics. But it also should not mean that you're ridiculed or forced into trying to believe that you're not who you are. It's just a really bad place that we're in, and we're going to see more and more things like this because people are, they have mental problems because of the way that they were treated growing up.
It's gonna get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, and
And there will always be those ignorant people out there.
Yeah.
Stupid people.
Yeah, and
And that includes our former vice president. Mike Shock the Gay Away Pence.
yeah, it also includes the former president because he's, as much as he
Actually,
claims
his
things.
2016 platform included pro LGBT messaging.
Yeah, but that's only because he was looking to get the vote. You listen to him, and most of what he, when he was uncomfortable with a situation or a group of people, oh, they're very, very good people.
Oh yeah, the good people on both sides thing.
Yeah,
That shit's hilarious.
and he was just trying to cover his bases because he's uncomfortable with whatever the situation is.
Hmm.
So, and likely any kind of messaging that was in there regarding LGBTQ was put in there by somebody else. He may not have known, or he may have just said, "Okay, yeah, we can put that in there just to appease them, just to try and win their vote."
Honestly, that surprises me, knowing that the party that he's with is very anti-gay.
Yeah, but at the same time,
Plus, he has a history of being on the other side, so I think it's more believable that he put it in there.
maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It's hard to tell when you start talking about politics or celebrities for anything. It's hard to really truly tell where their beliefs are versus them just saying what they think you want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
A few years ago with who's that driver? Oh, he had made some very derogatory remarks towards black people. I can't remember who it was.
Huh?
There was a NASCAR driver. A few
Yeah.
a few years ago, and he got in some real trouble from NASCAR over his comments. It was just a couple of years ago.
Are you thinking of Larson
Yeah, it could be.
when he said the gamer word
I don't remember. I don't remember what he said, but
on during an
basically,
iRacing event Easter night?
yeah. Basically, he got in trouble, and then you,
Lost all his sponsors, lost his ride,
yeah, and
got stuck in sprint cars for a few months.
you had said that he had made his amends, but what
He
he
has.
but the problem is you can't tell if he realized what he did and why it was wrong versus all of that just happening because PR people took over to fix things for him so he can go back to making money.
Hmm.
That's the biggest problem there is with anything regarding celebrities. You
That's
know,
very true.
they're the podcast company that I was watching, twit.tv. The owner of the company, he did a lot of the podcasts on there, but one of the things that he had said multiple times was, if I don't believe in a product and I don't use the product and I am not willing to use the product, I will not advertise that product. I don't care how much they're going to offer me. And
I like
that's
that.
that's very unique in the world. Celebrities will endorse something now just because they're going to get paid.
Yeah, pretty much.
They don't have to necessarily use the product. They're going to get paid for it. And it's really sad. But
It is.
I don't know. So anyhow, I think everybody's heard that music playing in the background.
And that means it's time to say goodnight.
We'll see ya.